title suggests, I'm going to share with you how I came up with a simple idea that then turned into a profitable business. And my business, it may not be something that you might do in the future, but hopefully you can take some of the principles and some of the ideas that I used and incorporate them into whatever it is that you're going to do or your business. So I think I forgot that she was going to tell you very much about me. So I just did a quick thing on my personal information. But like she said, I attended BYU, and I graduated with my BS and Master's in elementary education, and then I taught school. And my husband, he came here with me today, and we were walking in here, we were wondering if we still look as young as we did when we were here as undergrads. But yeah, we weren't quite sure about that. But so I taught school for 2 years, and then I became a mom, and I decided to stay at home. And I started to look at blogs, and I thought it would be fun to have a website where a lot of people visited, and that's how I came up with this idea. And so I'll go in a little bit more into that. And so that's my family. I have, like she said, my oldest, he's 11 now, and then I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 3.5-year-old, and then 7 weeks ago today we added one more little guy. So he's back there, so hopefully he'll be good for us today. Let's see. Okay, so I want to tell you a little bit, I want to tell you what my giveaway today is, so you just kind of have an idea of what the company is that I'm talking about. My giveaway today, it offers companies, both big and small, a positive venue for promoting their businesses. My giveaway today features various companies by showcasing, giving away, and offering incredible discounts for the company's products. And so it's just it's online. The URL is mygiveawaytoday.com. And because we're all about giveaways, I thought that we'd start off with some giveaways, if that's okay with all of you. Has anyone not put their name in here? We got everyone? Come on up. We'll get you in here real quick, and then we'll... Oh, she's taking care of you. Okay. So the first thing... Oh, you didn't. Okay, we'll wait for you, and I'll tell you a little bit about what it is that I'm going to give away first. Probably just one. What do you guys think? Yeah, okay. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to give away... Okay. Does that work better? Okay. All right, so we got everyone in here? Okay. So the first product that I'm going to give away today, and what I'm going to do right here is kind of model what we do on the website. And so just, and then I'll talk about it after. But so the first product is a necklace from Crystal B Handcrafted Jewelry. And up there you can see her shop. And so I chose, she has beautiful jewelry. I love her jewelry. I own quite a few pieces just because it's one of my favorites, kind of vintage, antique looking. But I chose to give away this today, and she did, because when I was here as a student, do they still play the bell tower, Come, Come, You Saints? And so I thought this would be appropriate to give away here today to you guys. So hopefully, when I hear that song, I'll think about my experience here at BYU sometimes. So hopefully, if you win the necklace, you'll feel the same. So our winner of this, and she will be on the website on November 11th, this upcoming Friday, until Monday. And so even if you don't win this today, you can go on there, and she's also giving a discount, and she'll be giving something away on the website. So the winner is Lisa? Is that how you say it? Liese? Is that how you say your name? All right, so here you go. You're welcome. All right. Okay, so that is what we do on my giveaway today. Let me see. Okay, so I show an image. If you go to the website, when there's a company that we feature, we show an image of their product. So I would have showed the image that I showed you up here. And then I tell a little bit about the company, kind of like I did. I told you that I like their jewelry and a little bit why. Then we give the company's URL. We offer a discount, which if you go on the website on Friday, she'll be featured on the site on Friday, so you can get the discount then. And then people enter to win, and they just enter to win by leaving a comment. And then they check back the next day or whenever the giveaway closes to see if they are the previous day's winner. So we have featured, so that's the whole concept of the website. The idea is that people will come to the website and they'll see the product and they'll kind of want to win it. And then if they didn't win it, then hopefully they'll go to the company's website and look at some of the products, and then they'll hopefully buy something from the company. And so we've had a lot of different companies on there. We featured everything from ski passes to jazz tickets to clothing. Down East clothing, they're on there today. So if you want to go on there and enter to win, you can do that. So how my simple idea came about is, like I was saying, in 2008, it seemed like a lot of people started blogs, like family blogs, and I started looking at them, and some of my friends had some, and then I started a blog for my own family, and then I saw some blogs where people were actually like making money off blogs, and so I thought, well, that would kind of be fun to have a website where people visited and interacted with one another, and then also if you could make money, that would be great too. So one of the blogs that I visited was called Pioneer Woman, and she is probably one of the most popular bloggers in America. And she had a giveaway on there one day. And she, like I said, she's one of the most popular bloggers in America, so a lot of people visit her blog. But she was just giving away something, and she had over 16,000 entries of people who wanted to win this one product. And so it kind of got my mind, oh gosh, giveaways are popular. And then I went to this other website, and there was like someone was giving away like this hair thing that it basically looked like a rubber band, but like 40 people had entered to win. So I started kind of thinking, oh, giveaways are something that people really like, and they'll comment and try to win. And so that's kind of how people like giveaways. So I thought, well, that would be, what if there was a site where they give something away every single day, and people have to come and check the following day to see if they were the winner. So then you'd have the traffic coming back each day, and then hopefully, this would be getting people, it would be marketing or whatever. But I didn't really think of the marketing part. I just kind of, at that point, was thinking of this would be kind of a fun blog to have, and I like to write, and so that was the initial idea. But so like I said, it started out more of a way to have a website rather than a way to market for companies. But I think that that's what happens a lot of times, is your idea will start as one thing, and then it just kind of becomes something else. And so, and you just need to move with that and see what it is that your product or company is doing, and then go in that direction. And so, let me see. Okay. So what I did in my own experience was I looked for a pattern. I saw that giveaways were, so this is, I guess, kind of my advice to you, is if you're looking for some sort of company to start, look for a pattern. Look for what's popular. I saw that giveaways were popular. What's trendy, what people are interested in, just kind of a general good idea. And then once you have that, then you can put your own unique spin on it. So like I said, I saw that giveaways were popular, and then I kind of thought of the idea of, well, where can I take this? And that was to have people come back every day, and so you have to have some sort of, I think, unique idea, unless you're willing to do it better than what's already being done. I hadn't ever seen anything like what my initial idea of having people come back every single day. And so I started it in December of 2008, so almost 3 years ago. And then by the next June, all these other companies started popping up, all these other websites exactly like my website. And they, like mine was called Giveaway Today at the time. And then they even just made the name of their website Today's Giveaway. So it was just barely different. And they even took some of the writing on my website and put it on their website, so theirs looked almost exactly like mine. And it bothered me, so I talked to my husband about it, and I was just like, I can't believe people would just kind of like steal your idea. But he just gave me the advice of, well, yours just needs to be better. And so it kind of comes down to that. You need to, if you do have an idea or if you see something that's already out there, but you think you could do it, have a different spin on it or do it better than what it's already been, or you have another idea to go with it, then that's the way you're going to be successful and live and I guess, run your any sort of competitor that will come along. Another way to have is to make good connections. That's another thing that I think was huge in my company, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. So another thing is find something in which you are interested. So like I said, I was interested in blogs. I also like to write, and I thought giving stuff away sounded like fun. So that's why I chose that. And then make sure that it's something that you think that you will stay interested in. Because if it becomes successful, you're going to have to keep doing it. So find something you're interested in and then go in that direction, and something that you think in the long run you'll stay interested in. And then finally, make sure you will be able to maintain balance in your life. Because like was mentioned, I have now 5 kids, and so you need to make sure that you can balance it all. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Okay, so let me see. I think it might be time for another giveaway. No, not yet. Sorry. One more slide, and then we'll do another giveaway. Okay, so you have an idea. Now what? Okay, so you've thought of this idea. So the first thing that I would say is share your idea with a few people you trust. Maybe your husband, your parents, friends, etc. Those who will both encourage you and also be realistic. Because I had thought of this other idea for a website before this one, and I talked to my sister and brother-in-law, who I felt like they would be realistic. I mean, I thought they'd be encouraging, but they'd also, tell me the truth if it was a good idea. And they brought up some things like that I hadn't really thought of why that might not work out, or so I ended up not doing the other website idea. But I think it was important that I talk to them about it, because if you go in one direction and you start putting all this time and energy and even money into something that might not work out in the end, then that's not a good thing. So talk to a few people that you trust and try to see if they think the idea is good too. And then if they and you really think it will work, then get started. Okay, there we go. Now we're for our giveaway. So this giveaway, this is Miranda Lee, and I have some of her cards up here. And if any of you are looking for some great ideas for Christmas, this company is awesome. They have these beautiful handbags that are handmade, and then they do skirts. And then what I brought today to give away is these key fobs. And I just you can get them really inexpensive on their website. You can buy a bunch of them for really great price. So I just got a bunch of these, and then I just keep them in like my gift closet, and anytime I have a birthday or a congratulations or anything that I need to give to someone, I just give them one of these with like a candy bar all wrapped up. And then so it's nice to have these little key fobs on hand to give people. So this is what I'm going to give you today, and they're just little key fobs to hook onto your keys, or I put it on my camera or whatever, and they're also a great gift to give. And these guys will be on our website a week from yesterday. So next Monday, she'll be giving away a $50 gift certificate. And then she'll also be giving a discount. So if you think that you want to get some of these or something else, then go to mygiveawaytoday.com next Monday, and you can enter to win, or you can just use the discount. Okay, so why don't we do a few of these right now. All right, so if I call your name, just come on up, and I'll give you a key fob. We have Bianca. All right. And you can just come choose whatever color you'd like. And then Natasha Stout. want to hear a yoo-hoo, so I know you're here. Stacy, Gadalewin, Lynn. Okay. Rachel Giberson. Janet Barton. Ashley Day. Why haven't I chosen a man yet, right? You guys want a key fob. Okay. Joy Shu. I'm going to go till I get a man. I am. Kirsten Gunn. Kaya Joseph. Is that how you say it? All right. Keep going. Katie Barber. I'm getting out more of them. All right. Mike Soar. Sarah? All right. We can. All right. Is there a. I don't know if there's a manly one, but it looks like you're married. So whatever you think your wife would like. Okay. He's getting one for his wife. So. All right. He can use it. Yes. Okay. All right, so now we've got our idea. We've shared it with a few people, and so now we need to get to work. So this was kind of my to-do list when I started decide what you need. Okay, so my to-do list was I needed a site because I just thought of this idea, so now I have to create everything, So I needed a site. I needed a button. That's just something you put on the side for people to put on their own sites. I needed companies to give away products. So that was just kind of my main list of what I needed. And then I made goals on what I needed to have accomplished before I launched. And so I wanted to have 4 weeks worth of products to put on there before I launched. And so I started emailing companies. And so I could do that while I worked on even having a site, So I just started getting it all going. And then another important thing is take time to think things over before you commit. Because when you get started, you're excited, you have this idea. And so people might start, when I wrote this, it's because I was looking at different websites. And I found this one girl who designed websites, and she wanted to design mine. And so I thought, oh, okay, that would be great. Someone wants to design my site for free, because I didn't have a lot of money. And so I said, okay. And then after I told her okay, I went and looked at her designs, and there were like flashing chandeliers on her designs, and it was just so not what I wanted. And I was just so excited that she had offered to do the site that I really should have looked into it first. And so take time to think things over before you commit. When, just think of every single thing very, down to the smallest detail before you commit to someone so that you don't have to backtrack, or so you don't spend a lot of money doing one thing and then having to lose that money because it wasn't a good idea in the first place. Okay. And then you also need to know what the most important elements are for your company and start there. And so for me, it was, whether it's what your site looks like or how you're going to market, those are, for me, were two of the most important things. Marketing's important for any company, but for me, I thought that the look of my site had to be a certain way or else I wouldn't get a lot of people visiting it. Okay, so in the end, these things will make the most difference. And if you do these things well, then you're set from the beginning in the right direction. So what I did was, once I had figured it out about the other designer that wasn't the best way to go, I had to speak with her and make sure that, everything was okay. But then I did find a site that I loved the look of it. So I found out who it was that made that website, and I contacted her, and I asked her if she would be willing to design my site. And she was really cool about it and just said yes. And I told her in exchange, because I didn't have a ton of money to design a site, I told her in exchange that I would have her button or her advertisement on my site once it got up and going for the rest of the time my site was a site. And so she felt good enough about that we kind of like bartered, and you can do that. And you know, you would, in investing, that's what it is basically. She was investing in my site, I guess. But so I was able to get the look I wanted from the designer I wanted by just advertising her after the fact. So, so that's a really good thing. Just don't be shy about talking to different people or different companies if you think that it's something that might benefit you. Because I was kind of nervous about sending that girl an email to see if she would design the site, but she did it. And so just keep that in mind, that you know, you can barter with people, and then also be willing, don't be shy about asking people things. Okay. Another big thing is your best outlet for selling. And so this depends, of course, on what you're selling and your market. If you're selling something like scarves or jewelry or something, you know, there's a lot of shows and boutiques around Utah where you can sell. Or if you want to sell items online, a few just tips on that is there's Etsy where you can sell things online, and you can always sell things on a blog online, but just a blog probably isn't the best place. Like Etsy, you can set up a store, or you can, of course, set up your own website to sell items that you might be wanting to sell. But if you sell stuff online, I think one of the biggest things is to just make sure that you have good images of whatever it is that you want to sell. I think that makes a huge difference. I have companies send me pictures or images to put on my website, and I think it's like when someone sends a picture of like something and it's not, the product just doesn't look good in the picture, I think it's a huge selling point. So just if you're ever going to sell things online, or you know, even in a store, whatever, just make sure that whatever it is, that your images look good and appealing to people. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So now you have your idea, and you have a website or a different outlet for selling, and so now the next part is making money, because that's an important part of it, right? All right. So, okay, so in my case, now I had my website set up. I had companies who were going to give away stuff on my website, and so now I needed to decide how it was that I was going to make money. So so one of the ways that I could was I charge companies to be featured on the site. And then the second way is advertising. And, you know, on many websites that you visit, just the advertising on the sidebar, those are the two ways that I was going to make money. And so, of course, this goes along with supply and demand. At first, I didn't charge companies to be featured until I saw that there was an interest even in my website. Because, you know, and so whatever it is that you're going to do, you're just going to, at first, you know, you're not making money. You're just going to have to see where it is that the supply and demand is. And so the interest from companies to be on my site actually came pretty quickly, and within a month, I think I was able to start charging people. But I think like that first week when I started the website, I was just hoping that companies would start emailing me, the ones that I hadn't contacted, and I did. I heard from 3 different companies that first week, and I sent them back the most ridiculous price to be on the website. And of course, they were like, no way, we're not going to be, you just started, you know. And so that's, you know, supply and demand. So then I had to start sending back emails saying that I wouldn't charge people, and then I think I started at $10 to be on the site, and then it just kept going up from there, because companies, after a while, just kept emailing. And so, you know, you can just, so I've always kept a close eye on the supply and demand of my site, and then set my prices accordingly. But I also keep in mind that some of the people on my site are just other stay-at-home moms, and so I've always offered options that I think would work for everyone. And so, so I think that that's really, really important. Okay, let's give away some more stuff. All right. Okay, so we'll do some more key fobs, because I think that's okay. So how about Sarah? I think it says Kibby, or it starts with a K. Kira, all right, okay. Jared Whiteside. I got a boy in there quickly, all right. Kelsey Metcalf. Greg Rosenhan. I think we've got Natalie, and it starts with a B. Yes. Landon Langford. We've gotten all the guys now. We've got Christmas coming up, so you can give it to your mom or your girlfriend or your wife, or you can keep it yourself. No one will. Okay. The last name on this is Lynn. And the first two letters are S-H-I. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Okay, the first name is, I don't want to say her first name because I don't want to slaughter them. Last name is Kim, and Sace, S-A, okay, great. Ashley May. Adam Wright. Ian. That's you? And I looked right at, is that you? Yeah. All right, I looked right at you. Okay. And Jessica Briscoe. Christine Harris. Erin Miles. And we'll do one more. Chelsea Moore. Yeah, go ahead, pick out whatever you want. Oh, fine. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so I had got to my 4 weeks worth of companies, and so then I had my launch date. And I launched on December 1st of 2008 with a $100 gift card to Target. And this was my cost to start my company, was $100. And I just put that up myself, and the economy, you know, at the time was not doing very well. And we're still going back up, but so a $100 gift card on December 1st to a lot of people, that was, you know, kind of an exciting thing. And so on the morning that I launched, I sent an email to all of my friends and family to let them know about the website. And then I gave them the URL. We weren't even set up on Facebook at the time, so I'll talk about that. So I didn't even spread it that way. I basically sent out the email to my family and friends. I put something on my own blog, and then because it was the $100 gift card, the news just started spreading. And with social networking now, that is such a great way to just you know, to market and to let people know about whatever company or business you're starting. And so it went pretty quickly. And, oh yeah, so I sent an email to ask them to spread the word. And so when you are going to launch, you could offer some sort of discount, something to get people there, or to get them to your site, or whatever it is. Do something for your grand opening that's going to launch it. And so for me, that's basically all I had to do was the $100 gift card, and then just having people help me spread the word. And then when people visited the site that day, in order to enter to win the $100 gift card, one of the requirements was they had to like tell 3 people, or there were just, and that upped their chance of winning. So I just tried to think of a way to get the most people there. And so that was how I launched. And so here's a few things I wish I would have done, like I was just saying, Facebook. I wish that I would have done these things like when I started, but and had them in place beforehand, and I think that would have made it even bigger, but I didn't realize it at the time. So the first thing was Facebook, and so people can like your company on Facebook. You all know that, and you can ask people to like your company on Facebook. And the other thing was Twitter. People can follow you on Twitter, and I think Yeah, so, and then on Facebook, we have over 6,600 fans or people who like us on Facebook. But what I would do was I would update every single day and let the people know like what was on the site that day and put a little image there to try to get people to the site. So that's a great way to have, to remind people to visit us. Twitter, we also did daily updates of what we had on the site. Pinterest, this, I haven't done as much with this because this is kind of new, if any of you guys know what Pinterest is. But yeah, so this is a good way also. People can follow you and you can follow other people. And so that's another good thing to have in place before you launch. Another thing is on the sidebar, we could have people follow us. So if you have a website, you can have people follow you on the sidebar, and then other people can see who they follow, and it's just another way to just market. Another thing is subscribers, and this is, I would send out a monthly email to let people know, and they would subscribe just right there on the site. They could put their name in and their email address, and then I just have a huge list, and I would do this through Feed Blitz. And the subscribers, we would do a monthly email newsletter to let them know what was going on that month. And this is a huge selling point. So if I ever want to sell my website, one of the huge things is how many subscribers do you have? So this is a great thing to start from the beginning. Even if you were to have like a store, it'd even be nice to have, you go into some stores and you can sign up to get their monthly email or whatever. It's great to have subscribers to tell people if you want to ever sell your business again. The other thing we had was we had a button on our sidebar with the HTML code, and people could grab that and then they could put it on their own blog or site. And then this is just really a little, but once you start your company, on your personal email, also your company email, you don't have to do it on your personal, but you can. And then also, especially on your company email, anytime you send out an email, just have on your signature your name and then your URL, your company name, so that people are just always getting that, and they might see it underneath your name on your email, and they might click on it, and you've got more people visiting your site or your store or whatever. Okay, so once you've started all this, you've launched, you're going, don't get discouraged. I was a bit discouraged my first month or month and a half. And I had sent out those first emails and where I had charged that ridiculous amount, and then no other companies were emailing me to be on the site. And so I started to get, and so I would check the inbox to see if maybe a company had emailed me to be on the site, but nobody ever did. And so finally, this is so silly, but I sent my own self an email just so there'd be something in the inbox. And I think I wrote what did I, don't get discouraged was what I wrote. So I just wanted at least one email in that inbox. And so I sent my own self one that said, don't get discouraged, and I tried to stay positive. But if you feel that, you've launched and it's just not happening like you thought it would, adjust what you're doing, okay? And try to stay positive. Talk to encouraging people, ask for suggestions. I don't know why I didn't write that on here. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I just had it mixed up. Okay, so try to stay positive, talk to encouraging people, and ask for suggestions, because people might be able to give you suggestions on what you could do better. Look for other outlets for advertising, because maybe what you're doing for advertising isn't working, and we'll talk a little bit about advertising in 1 second. And then try to be creative and look for other ways to what I did was I started a winners blog, and then I emailed all the past winners and had a day where I also had a day where I gave away free advertising. And so I told people on the site, I'm going to give away free advertising on the site. So have any companies that visit the site that day so they can win some free advertising. So then when company owners visited our site, they saw what we were all about, and then they emailed. We got a lot of people to be on the site that way too. So try to be creative, and then also making connections is huge. And I'll talk about that in 1 second. Okay, so marketing and networking. So what is the best marketing venue for your product? It totally depends on what your product is, but you need to know who is your target audience. And for me, I would say like 95% of the people who visit my site are women. And so 95% of the products that were on my site are for women, because men aren't going to my site as much, and so I don't have stuff for them as much. So the marketing for my site, it's very important for me because mine's on the computer and people are already sitting at the computer. It's important that if I were to do advertising for my site, it would need to be something where people could just click on it and go directly to my site. So it wouldn't be smart for me to market my site like with a billboard on I-15, because people are driving and they aren't even near their computer. So for them to drive by and see a URL, that's not going to be the best marketing for me. So think about who your audience is and what the best marketing for you would be. And then if someone does something nice for you, is tell them thank you. So you can give them a gift or just a card, but even the necklace that I gave away from Crystal B, she knows who her market is, and she has made friends with a lot of like bloggers, and so she sometimes will send them like something for themselves, and then they talk about their site, that her store on their site, and that gets people to her site. So that's just one creative way that she has marketed her stuff, was to giving it to people who will talk about it to a large audience. Okay, another thing is my friend, I had a friend named Allison, and she encouraged me to send Good Things Utah an email when I started up the website. And I was just kind of like, I don't really think that will work. But I sent them an email anyway. And then they called me to be on their show. And once I was on their show, I talked to the people at Down East. And then now I've had them on my site a ton. So I was able to kind of use that as leverage to get like this company that's a little bit bigger. And then because I was on Good Things Utah, Studio 5 saw that segment, and then they asked me to be on their show, and then K-Jazz saw me on Studio 5, and so they asked me to be on their show. So it kind of, once you can just kind of get your foot in the door, you'll be surprised at how it snowballs. So don't be afraid to send an email to like somewhere where you will be seen. So like Good Things Utah. Don't be afraid to just, because it's your company, and don't be afraid to do it, and it might turn out that it will just snowball into something bigger. Another thing was Utah Valley Magazine. They had a favorite blog contest in Utah Valley Business Queue, so I sent them an email to look at my blog, and then they decided it was one of the 5 best blogs in Utah Valley. And so I was on the cover of their magazine, and then because of that, I think I was even invited to speak here because I was seen in that magazine. So once again, look for different things. Like they were just advertising that they were looking for the best blogs in Utah Valley. So I thought, I'll send them an email, see what happens. Just look for things that your company could possibly fit under, and then just take a chance. I already talked about that. Okay, so other marketing outlets. Make sure that marketing is best for your company. I talked about that. One thing that I kind of think is a little bit, because I'm a marketing website, I find it kind of strange that when companies email me, I think I've only had a handful of companies ask me to send them my statistics or anything like that. So most companies that email me, they just say, okay, I want to be on your site. And I mean, they see that it's popular, but at the same time, when someone emails me and says, a company emails me and says, send me your statistics, I think that company's being smart. I don't like say, oh gosh, I can't believe they want me to send my statistics. I think that's a company owner who actually, wants to see how many monthly visitors I have. Maybe I've even had one person, I think only one person asked, Can I get the names or the emails of other people who've been on your site to see if it was successful for them? So before you put a whole bunch of money into marketing, make sure that it is something that is going to be profitable or good for you, and because you don't want to lose money that way, because marketing is so huge. So you really need to do your research and not just give it a try. You can always be featured on Giveaway Today, so you can email me and let me know you're in the class, and then we'll in this class, and we'll get you on there. Other thing you can do is networking, pass out cards at boutiques and other places where your target audience would be. So for me, it was boutiques. If you have cards, you can pass them out at where your target audience would be. You can also purchase a list of names and addresses of your target market and send out postcards if that will work for you. Okay, this is our next giveaway. This book, it's called Faithful, Fit, and Fabulous, and this is it's by an LDS author, and she signed it for you. She speaks at Women's Week and Education Week here at BYU, and so she is giving away today one of her books, and it just came out in this past summer. So anyway, we'll see who is the winner of this. Alex White. Okay, I thought it was girl's handwriting. I was glad. I'm like, oh, good. Here you go. You can pass that up to her. All right. Okay. Okay, so maintaining balance. Okay, so does a perfect balance ever exist? Especially, I don't know, with your family, and if some of you want to be a mom, but then also, be an entrepreneur. Sometimes it's hard, and it's hard to find the balance and to find what works best for my family and also works best for my business. And so it's hard. It's hard sometimes, but I'm constantly reevaluating what I'm spending my time on to try and make sure that I'm putting the most important things first. And of course, my family, they are the most important thing to me. And so I need to make sure that my marriage and my children, that they always come first, and that this doesn't come first. Even though it's exciting and, it's a good outlet sometimes when things at home are a little crazy, but I just always have to reevaluate and make sure that I'm putting the gospel and my church responsibilities and even being a friend, that, I'm putting certain things before my giveaway today. And so, if it gets to be too much, hire help if possible. And so I did this on my own for about 6 months, and then and then my children were getting out of school for the summer, and I knew that I would not be able to dedicate as much time to this as what I did while they were in school. And so I hired help, and it's very important that you hire the right kind of help. So for my company, I needed to make sure that I hired someone who had great, computer skills. And so just make sure that if you hire help, it's the best that you're paying, that you put your money where you'll get the best results. And so let's see. Okay. Oh, the other thing about that was when I hired this girl to help me, I hired her in June, and then in August, I started feeling like, gosh, it's not as much fun as it used to be. And I realized that I was having her do all of the write-ups for each feature, and that I was doing all of the emails, and I don't like the email part of it. I like the writing part of it. And so I had to reevaluate that because I was hiring her, so I needed to decide what part of it I wanted to be doing, So also make sure that you do things to still find the joy in what it is in your business. And so if you hire someone else to do the grunt work that you don't enjoy as much, just make sure that you're doing that. So have I achieved this balance of maintaining the balance? Some weeks I felt like I do better than others. And there were just things like I started waking up at 5:30 on some mornings, and then I would try to work 2 or 3 days a week while my son was in preschool or napping or different things. and then I just squeeze time in here or there, or have certain times on Saturdays to go work. And so sometimes when the emails would pile up, I would just think, well, I can only do what I can do and stay within this balance. So anyway, so I hope that if you are a woman entrepreneur and start something, that you'll be able to remember to put the most important things first and have constant reflection on what that is. Okay, so my final advice for you is find something you love. I think that's the most important. Like I said, I think I already explained why, but just something that works for you and for your situation, and make sure that, I think that's really important. And then also, you need to work hard. That's probably one of the biggest things, is if you're not willing to work hard, then it's not going to work. And then maintain balance and make sure that you're putting the most important things first. And so, who didn't win? All right, so those of you who didn't win, I still have some more key fobs, so just you can come on up and grab some. But thank you for inviting me, and I think there's just a few minutes left for questions. So if you have any questions, then I'll be happy to answer those.